Welcome to Ascended Warrior, Soul Codes for a Shifting World. This is your sacred space to awaken, align, and rise in your purpose. So let's begin. Hello, Ascended Warriors. Welcome again to another episode on the podcast that helps to reframe the events that are most important in our world right now through a spiritual lens, to help bring insight, clarity, and higher energy to things that make us feel the most out of control and the most ungrounded. This is the time of spirituality. This is the time of the light worker. And I keep getting that message over and over and over again in all my meditations and when I channel in information. And you hear that chime. That chime is always my indicator that what I'm saying is important. We have come to this world so many times in so many different incarnations to learn the lessons that this planet could offer, to learn patience and empathy, compassion, courage, to learn to die. There's so many lessons that are possible when we come back to this planet. And this time period, what is happening now, is really a culmination of so many years and so many incarnations, thousands and thousands of years, hundreds of millions of lives coming to the planet to learn, culminating in what is happening now on this planet, which is one of the reasons that I felt I had to do this podcast at this time, because it's so easy for us to feel the negative aspects of what is going on in our world and focus on those and give all of our energy to what the media wants us to pay attention to, what souls of a lower frequency want us to pay attention to. But in truth, this is a really exciting time for us, for all souls. This is the time we have been training for. If you think of all those other lives that we've done as courses that we've taken, as college classes, this is our final. This is our chance to write our own story, to write our own theses. It's a really important time for us to stand up in our light, in our power, in our peace and joy, and tell the rest of the world we're not going to spin. We're not going to go down into the mud. We're going to stand our ground and we're going to let the world spin around us. And as we do that, holding our frequency the way that we do, we inspire others. We awaken others. We are grounding rods steering this storm. And that is such an honor to be a part of. So in this episode today, this is the second part of the 3-part series on war consciousness. Last week, we talked about why war still exists when we have come as far as we have as souls. Why does war still happen? And the consciousness of it is intentional. It is purposeful. There is old energy that is still stuck in our cycle of ascension. And there's still souls that need to experience it on their journey, on their timeline. However, those who are awake and who are feeling called to bring their energy to these issues, we can affect their ability to awaken faster. We can affect the ability of Earth to heal faster. So war consciousness had a place. It did. It's still there because souls still need to learn from it. That is why it's still happening. This week, we're going to talk more specifically on the war in Gaza and the power of that land and how we can heal these holy wounds that have been going on almost since it was discovered. So the war in Gaza is another one of those really hot button topics that a lot of people feel very passionate about on one side or the other. I'm going to ask that you put the sides away for this conversation and just focus on this information as a higher soul. We are beings of light having a human experience. So I want you to take this information in from that lens. So before we begin, I just want you to ground into this space. Feel yourself rooting into the earth. Roots actually moving out of your body into earth, just making you feel that calm and peace that comes from her very heart, just holding you in this moment. Feel your heart opening, just this beautiful spiral, beautiful green energy, just spiraling and cleansing out any preconceived conceptions, any fear, anything that would prevent you from diving into the spirituality of this time and your role in it. So feel that heart open up. Remind yourself this is not a conversation about politics. This is not a conversation about right or wrong or religions. This is a conversation about energy. This is a conversation about karma. And this is a conversation about our souls. So with that being said, just take a deep breath in and let it out with a sigh. So to really understand when we talk about the holy wounds that have taken place in this area, I wanted to go back and really talk about the context of this location on Earth. The area of the Middle East, very specifically the holy areas around Israel and Gaza, are ley lines of energy. They are these beautiful lines of energy that move across the world. And whenever they overlap, they create an energy vortex, a place that attracts people. It attracts energy. It attracts religious epiphanies. People can feel that the place means something, even if they don't know why. And that has been true since its beginning. That is one of the centers of energy that the earth has created. And there are many. There are many of them that have sacred sites built on them by different cultures across the world. Because again, even though they didn't know why it felt different, it did. And they knew it was important. They knew it was significant. The energy center of that area, and even as I'm saying this, I could feel spirit almost trying to give me some more information. When I say that, I feel like a tickling in the back of my neck, in the back of my head. And I'd seen this message before too. This area of Earth is it's Earth's heart. It's where the energy of heart goes in through her being. I'm sorry, I'm hearing and I'm trying to speak at the same time. The energy flow, heart energy flow, moves through this center into Gaia and transmutes back out. If you've ever seen a vortex and what it looks kind of like a donut. The energy moves in these beautiful spiraling circles. So it moves in and out. And it's just this beautiful energy moving in both directions, but it kind of forms a donut. This center is her heart. And she calls people to it because they can feel that they are loved in this place. They feel important. They feel seen. And it's because it's part of her embrace, because her heart energy is so, so powerful there. And this was part of the established pattern at the beginning. Her energetic body has the same chakra centers that the human bodies do. We're all We're all made of the same energy. So that is one of the things that it literally pulls people in, helps wash them, helps cleanse them, and make them feel a mother's love, unconditional acceptance, uniqueness. Grounded for sure, but just the way that I'm seeing it is like being held in her hands and comforted. So the back to the human history of it, that image is very clear in my mind right now. When humans started coming to Earth to incarnate after we went through that darker period when we stopped, when we moved away from our remembrance as light bodies, and we went into this period of amnesia where we came down just to survive, just to be animals here on the planet to survive. Even at that time, before any sort of remembrance, this was an area of importance. Gaza was used for trade. It was used as a crossroads of culture and art, of music, where different cultures could come together and share. Again, they didn't know why, but they were pulled to this place. The Egyptians, the Palestinians, the Babylonians, the Persians, even the Romans and the Greeks, Alexander the Great, all were pulled to this area of significance because it meant something to each of them on a religious level, on a spiritual level. Now they chalked it up to whatever religion that they followed at the time, which, I mean, they had no real context to push aside their traditional religion and ask what else this could mean. But each time these different powers of the world, these different entities of the world came and spilled their blood, spilled their hopes and their prayers, their fears, their tears, their births, all of these different cultures pouring their energy into this power center, this vortex energy. It just amplified over time humans' needs to go there, that pull on humans to go there. It definitely clogged Gaia's heart center and built up years of scar tissue, generations of scar tissue that have to be healed by her, by Gaia, and by us, by those of us here to help with the ascension, by our guides, by our angels. That scar tissue has built up over years of sacrifice, of religious fever, persecution, us versus them, that duality, that one side is right and the other is wrong. It is built up for so long, and every single group that went into that space feeling that energy of love and light wanted it for themselves. And they thought their right was divine. It's as we like to say in the military, it's putting a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage. This massive bloodletting that has happened in these sacred spaces we're just constantly throwing Band-Aids on it when we give it to another entity, when somebody claims it, when somebody takes power, like, aha, Band-Aid, I've owned it. It does nothing to fix the scar. It does nothing to stop the bleeding. This land has been bleeding forever. Since humans started to feel that their needs as individuals superseded the needs of the collective. Gaia's heart didn't just bleed for us on an energetic level as a mother to a child who is watching her children suffer. She was bleeding on a physical level because her heart was absorbing all of this negativity. And she allowed it, as a mother would allow a child to mistreat them and abuse them and still love them. The modern layering issues that we have going on there, which have really started after World War II, which was another giant wound energetically to the world. The events of World War II led to a global shift in many, many ways in religion and politics. The global lines changed. And obviously, the Jewish culture was given this piece of land, which had at the time before that belonged to somebody else. But what I'm trying to, and the tingling is getting really aggressive. What I'm hearing from all of this, and I hope we all understand, this is Gaia's heart. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's a gift she's giving to all of us, an energetic gift to all of us, a physical gift to all of us, allowing us to come here and have these karmic adventures on her body through her energy. So the rise of where we are now with the Gaza Strip, with what is going on with Israel and Palestine, it is so much bigger than them, to the point where even talking about this now, it pales in significance to the wounds that she has taken by creating this heart vortex that we could tap into, that was free, it was freely given. That heart energy is something that we can help clean and move. So when you think about all the souls that were attracted there, attracted to that place to conquer it, and you think about the souls that have been born there, think about the souls that reincarnated specifically into the energy of that location, regardless of what side they were born into or what culture they were born into. The karmic contract of a soul being born into the heart energy of Gaia, that bleeding, that hemorrhaging wound, the cultural layering of fear. We can call it 1,000 different things: lack of acceptance, persecution. It's all based in fear. So souls born into that duality, that heavily sorry, I'm getting messages at the same time I'm speaking. This area has had so much energy as it has needed to transmute from the humans that have gone through it. That the souls that have been born into that land, whether they had past incarnations there or not, and many of them did have past incarnations during these other peaks, have come here to work through this energy vortex that's happening to them, the karmic energy, the karmic debts that are incurred by being born there. And again, this is intentional. We choose our soul's journeys. So these are not souls that are being punished. I've never liked that idea of coming back as a punishment. We don't suffer because we're pieces of shit. We are given opportunities to grow. And that often comes through challenges, through things that make us feel like victims. Think of the soul lessons they can learn in Gaza and Israel at this time. With that being said, knowing how much we grow through the challenges we provide our souls, the ascension, the evolution that they're going to be able to experience in a single lifetime is exponentially sped up because they are being incarnated into that zone. Not just the human karmic cycle that's going on, but also Gaia's karmic cycle and her cleansing process, all happening in this one heart center. They are going to be able to evolve at an incredible speed if they if they handle their challenges, if they face their challenges, and they find light instead of fear. And incredibly, and I cannot fathom what it would be like to live in these places with that fear born into you, that sacrifice and pain born into you. But if you were a soul who did have those experiences born into them, and you learned to transmute your fear, how powerful would that experience be in one lifetime versus having to come down 10 times and do those experiences and those opportunities separately? They're getting the chance to cram a lot of classes into one abbreviated course. Now, Gaia's work, what she's doing there, is also incredibly important because that scar tissue has got to be cleared in order for her to heal and operate her heart at the level, at the frequency that it is meant to. That is something that we can help with as light workers. We can't change the soul's journeys that are in that area. They have agreed to come down at this time and go through this abbreviated course for a reason that their soul understands. Our soul, I can't speak to that. I can't speak to why they chose that, but I know that they did, and I know there's a divine intention behind it. For Gaia, we can help and we can be involved because we are awake. Because our healing Gaia and helping to cleanse her heart is a part of our journeys. If this message resonates with you at all, this is a part of your journey. This is one of the reasons that you came down to Earth at this time, is because Earth is ready to heal. She is ready to get rid of her scar tissue and glow at the frequency that she's meant to. I did a card reading on Gaza before I did this episode because I wanted to tap into the energy because it's such a gray area and it has seen so much suffering, and I wanted to really understand why this war is coming back up now, why it's spiking again now at this time. And I did a card reading, and I'll post that on my YouTube page. You'll be able to see it on my website as well. So I will post that at the same time that I post this video. But what I saw when I did the reading was during those darker periods when humans started feeling pulled to Gaia without really understanding the sacred ground that they were on and that it belonged to all, there was 5 entities that tried to claim power in that zone, that essentially put down roots in there and said, this energy belongs to me. 5 different entities, 3 of which were human entities. The major religions. You've got the Christians, the Jewish, and then the Muslims all had significant claims to this area and spiritual events that were put down in their canon that were incredibly significant for the evolution of their religions. The other 2 entities were not religious based. One is still human, although it doesn't feel like it feels like it was inspired by more negative forces, but they were using the energy of the area to gain power and control. And I talked about this a lot in several of the episodes, because this is coming up more and more when I'm pulling these issues apart, is there's these shadow entities behind a lot of what we like to blame on politicians, what we like to blame on religions. There's a group that set up a lot of the structures as we understand them now in order to gain power and control over us and over the energy centers of the world. when I did a tour of a Masonic temple out in Northern Virginia. And the temple, I I'm fairly horrified by some of the things they teach, but they tapped into sacred geometry. They tapped into the energy lines of the earth, and they knew they were doing it. That's not what the tour guide was saying. He kept it all very superficial, but this is what I was seeing when I looked at their writings. This is what I could see in their paintings. They even had a globe on one of the cabinets with a landmass in the Atlantic Ocean that didn't exist. And I asked him, I said, what is that? What is that land there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, right about where Atlantis would be? And he looked at it and he said, oh, it's probably just a mistake on the globe. There have been entities that have been around since the beginning of humans' time of forgetfulness that have used the ley lines, they've used the ignorance of the souls where they were in their incarnation to take control, to grow more powerful, to grow more influential. I could do a lot more on that topic if that's something you're interested in, but that is one of the entities that is in this area. They knew that it had energetic and spiritual significance. They also knew that it was going to be a contended area for humans, specifically the most powerful humans in the world, which would be these various religious entities. And they were able to set up structures in there to both tap into Gaia's energy and tap into the money and the power that was filtering through there. The fifth entity is not physical. It feels solely energetic. And it does kind of feel like that puppet master behind all the human souls, this thing kind of playing with the humans, like, dance for me. It's not an energy that I can see particularly well, even when I tap into it. It's an energy that is kind of hiding within human energy, but it's not. If all of our souls are putting out a frequency, and then we're standing in a group together, there's one being over here that is not vibrating at the same frequency as the human souls. Part of me doesn't want to look at it, and I do acknowledge that it doesn't feel negative in the sense of something demonic or anything along those lines. And I did watch The Conjuring the other day, so I'm very conscious of not saying it doesn't feel like that, but it feels foreign. And I have not tapped in further than to know that that is the fifth energy that was in that location. Founded by the three religions, this fourth group of humans inspired by their knowledge of energy and spirituality to use it for personal gain, and then this fifth non-human entity. When they created all of that and really benefited from all of the bloodletting that has happened in this area, all of the contention, the people were never winners of the wars, ever. There's no winner of these battles except for these groups who are gaining power and control over the people who are suffering. In the current, what we're doing now in the current, and I was really surprised to pull this card, so I'll show you this card. I asked where Gaia is in her healing process at the time, and I pulled this card. Now, this is the Angel Tarot card from Doreen Virtue. What this is the Three of Earth. The card shows this beautiful landscape. It's like rainbow mountains. There's a beautiful river that's running through it. There's butterflies flying around, and on the butterflies are fairies. This card is creativity. It is teamwork, and it's playful. I was very surprised to get a card when I asked where Gaia was in how she felt about this situation and this war that is currently going on over her heart center. And I was pretty much told to just chill out. she's doing something here. Gaia is working. She is actively working, and she's bringing forces together to help heal those scars. And she's not fearful of it. She's not in pain. She feels powerful. She feels playful. It's like a kid who just got out of school at the end of a school year and they've got summer break ahead of them. That's how this energy feels. She feels energized to move into this. I was going to say into this next phase, but this is something she's doing currently. What we can do as light workers, I also asked, and what I saw was bringing the king of water, the king being the most supreme card of water, water being emotion. We can bring our elevated emotions, our unconditional love and compassion to that area. We can absolutely support the souls that are going through that journey. We can help them feel on an energetic level that they're not alone, that they are souls, and that we recognize their divinity, their supremacy, that we're with them, that they're humans having, or their souls having a human experience. We can help them feel that on a soul level, even if they can't recognize it in the human level. So definitely continue to send your healing and loving energy there. For Gaia, this time of teamwork, of playfulness, she is ready for us to work energetically and not passively, to actively get in there and use our energy to help heal her scars, to remove that scar tissue so that she can resonate and spin at the level that she's meant to. She's ready for it. She's already working on it. We can actively help her with this. What this will lead to, what the Lightworker mission in this specific area, in this specific battle zone will do, is bring potentially, and this I saw this in the cards, was a healing of the three religious entities, a time of self-reflection for them, where they're going to have to come to terms with the things that they have done on this planet, on the roles that they have played, on the wounds that they've delivered. It's going to be a time for the religions to acknowledge and take responsibility for their role in the evolution of humans. It's going to be a very hard time for these religious entities. There's going to be schisms, is what I see, especially if some groups want to take responsibility and move forward at a higher frequency, and some groups don't. I see additional schisms coming out of that. But the chance for these religions to heal on an energetic level is really phenomenal. Many people have religious scars, all part of our soul journey. They're intentional. I have religious scars that I picked up through my experiences. This is going to be the time where when those religions heal on an energetic level, it's going to trickle down and allow a lot of those wounds that have been carried by others to heal as well. It's going to open up the opportunity to heal faster. Now, many of you have already done your work dealing with those religious scars. You're still going to feel a difference. The energy around those religions is going to feel lighter. It's going to feel less dense. It's going to feel less 3D. The religions as entities can't move all the way up to, I keep hearing that they're going to get stuck around the 4D. They can't go up to a certain level because religions have a place, a very specific place in the journey of souls. They give you purpose, they give you meaning, they give you direction. At some point in your spiritual journey, you stop asking for guidance from humans. and you start looking inside for guidance from your higher self, from your internal guides, from source directly. So while religions do have a place as souls move through our soul journeys, that place is going to become less important for the numbers that they are now. But this reckoning that they're going to have is really important for them to go through. The more I pull in these events, I see so many different evolutionary cycles happening simultaneously. I've got my own journey that I'm on. I've got my family's journey. I've got the area that I live in moving through its growing pains. We've got war consciousness on a global level. We have these individual wars. We have Gaia moving through her energy and bringing up all these natural disasters and these seismic shifts. The collective consciousness as a whole shifting. Everything is shifting at the same time, which makes everything feel slightly unsettling. But it's so good. It's so good that it's happening. We keep asking for when the shift will happen. Well, we see it in our lifetime. It is happening. It's happening right now. It has been happening. It is using your energy. It is something you're working on when you sleep. It's where your energy goes when you meditate, when you feel calm, when you feel peaceful, when you feel love. The time of the light worker. That is what this is. So, with that being said, I want to do a healing initiation. I want to tap into the heart energy of Gaia collectively and essentially sign up to be on her team, to let her know that our energy is there and that we are ready to work with her. Sound good? So settle into your body. Settle into the surface of the chair. Just let your body start to feel heavier. Allow your eyes to drift close. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. In through the nose and out. Feel your body just releasing any tension. Feel the excitement. We're getting ready to do what our souls were meant to do. So bring your focus into your heart. Feel this spin with each beat. This emerald green energy growing stronger. Spinning out through your entire body. Filling you with this beautiful green light. Now feel a cord of light going from your heart all the way down through your body into the center of Earth. This crystalline center in the heart of Earth, Gaia's very core. Feel as this ribbon of light wraps around her core, tying you energetically. And with a deep breath, release that emerald energy down through the cord, sending your heart into the core of Gaia. Visualize as her crystal core starts to glow, growing brighter and brighter. this emerald green crystal starting to pulse and spin, sharing the heart energy of souls all around the world, calling to the light bodies of souls that have not yet awakened, calling the light of all beings, angels, star seeds, fairies, all energetic beings here to help with the ascension of Earth. Feel that energy pulsing down into this crystal, combining with your own. This beautiful, playful dance of emerald energy, sending out sparks of light. Feel as the energy culminates into a spike of beautiful light up and out through her heart space, cleansing the earth, cleansing the roots of the plants, the waters, the animals, human and non-human, pushing out into the atmosphere, connecting her to source, connecting her beautiful core energy directly to home, opening up a two-way energetic flow. Feel as more energy gets pulled into this area, dissolving the scar tissue around this land, transmuting it into smoke. It just drifts away as if it never was. Feel the land above her heart sigh, releasing all of its pent-up tension and stress, releasing generations and generations of angst. Watch as the emerald green light filters through every particle, moving up through the blades of grass, circling every being in this emerald green shell of energy. You can see all negative ties to this area just drifting away from the bodies of the animals, dissolving from the water, drifting away in the air. We release all karmic ties of pain, of fear, of victims, of aggressors. We bring pure heart. We bring unconditional love. We bring our higher selves. Feel this group work, this connection to all, working and playing. Feel the lightness of this work. How right it feels to share and to love to connect. Allow this energy to flow without resistance. Know that you can come back. Know that you will come back and continue to work with Gaia in each moment of peace. Each time that you laugh, that you smile, that you feel joy and love, that you are sending that energy directly down through this link, dissolving those scars and being a part of her heart, helping to create this direct link between Gaia and Source through her heart space. Now bring your focus back through the core of Gaia, back up this string of light, allowing it to remain attached for as long as she needs. Bring your focus back into the room, back into your body. Feeling your lungs move up and down with your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And with one more deep breath in, open your eyes. Thank you, warriors of light, for coming to Earth at this time. Thank you for the work that you're doing here. It is an honor to serve with you. She's ready, and we're ready to help. If this message resonates with you, I do ask for feedback. Ask if you want to join in the conversations, if you want to be a part of these discussions, please reach out to me. All this information will be on my website and available for you anytime you want. I will post the card reading so you can see the full reading that led to this message. And I will post this meditation separately so you can tap into Gaia anytime you want. Until next time, beautiful light beings. Love and light.